It's time for you to stop. It's time for you to take a break. Stop bringing work home with you. Stop it. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can balance your 9 to 5 and running your business with everything else in your life. So come back in a moment and let's talk about these things. So first of all, I want to clear something up. I am not a person that believes in the idea of a work-life balance. I feel like work is just something that you do to be able to pay for the food that you like to eat and the trips that you like to go on. I don't think work needs to take up so much of your life that you have to balance it with other things. I think that is crazy, and I think that is like a horrible construct. So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about balancing the time that you spend on going to work and being an entrepreneur, because some of us do both. I do both, right? I have a company, A Place of Love LLC is the overall name of it, but I run Motherland Jam's Belly Dance. I have a blog, the Black Book Space. I do several things, but I also teach elementary school. So that is my other job. So one way that I balance both is that I make sure that I rest and take breaks. I teach and have other obligations outside of teaching. So I teach special education, I'll just say, so I have to write IEPs. I do not take IEPs home with me and write them. First of all, I'm not completely sure that it's legal. I'm sure you know it probably is, but it's not legal in my world, okay? I'm not going to bring someone's special documents home with me anymore and write them. That is a boundary that I will not be able to cross. That's what teacher prep time is for. And you'll have all of your documents that you need for said IEP in your classroom. They're not going to be with you at home. So you do all your phonics screeners with your little person in class, and you have them do their little math problems and all those things, and you write that down and you call it a day, and that's it. That is what I do now. And I'm going to be honest, when I first started teaching special education, I was writing IEPs on my off time, like even time that wasn't necessarily supposed to be dedicated to that. So even like extra time at work, right? And now I do not do that. I draw that line. I don't think that's appropriate at all. That is just me. I make sure to get my rest from both working my 9 to 5 as a teacher and from my company. I have to get rest from both because I am not going to be working 24/7. No, I do not come home and immediately start belly dancing and coming up with routines. I have set times that I like to do that in. I have a schedule for that, so that helps things as well. And I make sure that I get my rest and I take breaks. Now, for the longest time, I was teaching my dance class every single Saturday. I could not tell you in the past few years how many times I, canceled class and went and did something else. But this year, I definitely did that a lot more, and it's made a difference. One weekend I canceled class, or actually I didn't cancel class. Yeah, I did. I canceled class and I went to Vegas to do some belly dancing out there, to take some classes. I've canceled class, to go out of town with my troupe, which was a lot of fun. You got to take breaks. You can take breaks in your business too. Make sure things are automated and answer emails if you feel that it's appropriate to, but take breaks. It's okay. You can take a break. I bet you can guess what this next one is. It's something I'm harping on all the time. You should meditate. Meditating is a great way to balance a 9 to 5 with your company, because meditation, remember, it gives us those ancestors. We can convene with the ancestors during meditation and calm down, lower that blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. Come up with a more constructive way to respond to the person who is aggravating you in your email, rather than just blasting them out, because that happens. It happens at your 9 to 5, and it may happen in your business too. Meditation really helps you to handle things a lot better. It's a great way to make sure that you are balancing those two aspects of your life and making sure you're not giving too much time to the 9 to 5, because that tends to be what happens. We tend to focus so much on the 9 to 5 that we forget about our company. And that's not good. I have been guilty of that before. I think it's important to focus on both. I think it's most important to focus on your health, your life, your family. But if you are doing both, you want to make sure that you I think it's better to give more time to your company than your 9 to 5, because if you're in your company, that's yours. That's something that you own. That's your baby. The 9 to 5, people say that if you died today, they would have your job listed the next day. I don't know. I hope no one is that cruel and that really happens. I've never seen it happen, but that's what people say. When it comes to your company, since this is yours and your idea, your intellectual property, I do think it's important to spend more time on that. The next one, make sure you set boundaries. So if it makes you uncomfortable and it'll take away from your YouTube filming time to sit at home and come up with lesson plans, then you need to set boundaries and you need to not do that. You can write your lesson plans during prep time. Otherwise, you should negotiate with someone about why you can't write your lesson plans during prep time. I have gotten really lucky and haven't had to write very extensive lesson plans for a while. It is a little different, between Gen Ed and ESS for sure. So I don't really know that other world. But I do feel like it's important. If you're a teacher, I can only speak on teachers. It's what I've been doing the longest. Or if you're doing something else, I don't know, another job. If you are a personal trainer in your company and you also work at a gym and they're wanting you to bring home things and you don't feel comfortable doing it, what is wrong with negotiating something else? I think it's so important for us to use our voices and speak up. You have to have time to run your company. And if these people are not paying you from this 9 to 5 to be running their company, then I feel like they don't expect you to be doing anything extra. That's how I feel. I feel like if you're not paying me any extra to be doing these things, these extra things at home, then I am not obligated to do them. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you a bad teacher. I promise you can get done all the things you need to do during prep time. And if you cannot, you need to ask somebody about it, because that is what leads to burnout. And we don't want that to happen. We want to have lots of energy for our students, for our families, for everyone. We want to be in good spirits so that we can bring those good spirits to our company and wherever else we are. Are you practicing mindfulness? While you are at your 9 to 5, just think about being at your 9 to 5. Think about greeting the people who come through the door at the gym or at CVS or wherever it is that you work. Think about just being there and all the things you enjoy about being there. Otherwise, get you another job so that you can enjoy being there instead. And when it's time for you to work on your business, just enjoy working on your business. Just enjoy teaching dance class or getting together with your personal client for their personal training situation or session. Make sure you are completely mindful in what you're doing. If you're doing some DoorDash orders, make sure you're mindful in that. You're going to the right address. You're not dropping the food off at someone else's house. Make sure you are focused on what you're doing. When you're splitting your energies between so many different things, that leads to exhaustion and burnout too, and you don't want that. You want to have energy to be able to do all the beautiful things that are in your life and have some energy left over for relaxation time, for having fun, right? I feel like number 5 is the most important thing, and that is to make your joy and happiness the priority in your life. If there's something in your life that is not bringing you joy, you should probably get rid of it if you're able to, or move something around. So that means your job too. I have to be honest. I have been in situations before where I was not happy at the location that I was at, and I decided to move on. It was difficult, yes. We have to remember, when it comes to being a teacher, I think that, at least for me, that is the hardest thing, to have to leave your students. But I think that we have to remember that when we're in a person's life, it usually is only for a season. You do the best that you can when you're with that person. You instill in them knowledge and love and care, and let them know how important they are to you and their family, and how important they should be to themselves. If you leave them with all that, then you're fine, of course, then you can leave. And even if you don't, I gotta say, teachers, we're not, this idea of a teacher being a superhero, I feel like they're just saying that because they don't want to pay us more. But we'll talk about that another day. It isn't your job to save another person. Look at other people as powerful, beautiful beings as well. Look at them with love, all that kind of stuff. And if you can't do that, maybe you should get away from them, right? Do not burn yourself out constantly. Well, I have to do this for this person because they can't do it for themselves. We have to stop thinking of each other in that way. That's not empowering. That's actually pretty belittling. We should think of each other in a different way, a more empowering way. So with that being said, make your happiness the priority. Make your joy the priority and your health the priority. So where can you sneak in some time to get some more movement in during the day? Where can you sneak in some time to get in some more shopping? Because I'm sure that brings you joy. Do those types of things. Make those things a priority and everything else will fall into place. I assure you. That's all I have for you today. I don't know what you're gonna do today, but I hope it's something that brings you joy. Bye.